Ecosia is Europe's largest search engine, and we're based out of Berlin. We were founded about 11 years ago, and we're a tree planting tech company, which are two very different worlds. And what that means is that we have 15 million users globally using our search engine. They use it to search every normal, everyday thing that they want to find, but we don't keep the revenues for ourselves. All of our profits go directly into climate action. So 80% into tree planting, but 100% into climate action. And that can also mean investments in renewable energy and things like that as well. It's global growth. I think the growth, interestingly, Paris has been one of our major cities, is our biggest city in terms of installs and growth, and we see huge traction there, despite the fact that a lot of our team is based in Germany. And France has always been such a strong performer for us. We've also invested in some regenerative agroforestry and agriculture projects there, where we're starting to see the first results of what we're doing, and people have really connected with that. So for them, food and where it comes from and connection to food is super important. Well, I think in the UK, it often centers around shopping and what you're buying, zero waste, plastics. Like, there's different topics which resonate with different audiences. And often we see that a certain user base starts, like a younger user base gets really excited about it, but they are our advocates. And so they're the ones that tell their parents, they're the ones who tell their colleagues, they're the ones that switch their workplaces across their universities to Ecosia, and they run a lot of our campaigns for us. We recently had a big ad campaign where the whole creative was made by students in Germany, and it is a beautiful TV ad. And we didn't have the budget or the resources to do that ourselves, but our users made it for us as part of a university project. And now through a collaboration with Sky and JC Decaux, we've got that creative in 12 European cities. There's been a huge disservice made to consumers where we've made them focus on their personal carbon footprint. And that's something that was actually started by fossil fuel companies, this idea of a personal footprint. And what we actually have is whole societies and economies that we're not taking into consideration their footprint, and we're not changing that structure, and we're asking consumers to stop using plastic straws. And that's not going to solve the climate crisis. So we have to look at companies being a lot stronger on this and not trying to make it all about these tiny changes that consumers can make, but actually the huge collective action they can have and the systemic change that needs to follow. Because otherwise we've got consumers trying their absolute hardest to eat less meat, fly less, and do all these great things. But on the other hand, companies are continuing business as usual and just saying, oh, we're going to hit net zero in 2050. 2050 it's too far away. If we wait to 2050 for companies and countries to hit net zero, we're heading for disaster. So I think anyone who works in marketing and advertising needs to have that personal realization and then realize whose cause they're furthering. And having campaigns focused on just people and their behaviors isn't going to be enough. It has to look at actual activism on a larger scale.